Okay, so we've got another trophy list review for you today, and before anything else, I just want to say a massive, massive thank you for all the love and support recently across every single type of video that I make, more specifically the last trophy list review. If we're judging based off of the likes to dislikes ratio, it didn't go down too well with a number of people, but every single comment on that video was full support of what I've been doing and what I've been saying in the videos. So I am so thankful, and I will continue as I mean to go on. Also, I want to give a shout out to the BombSquad. They'll be appearing on screen now. Obviously absolute legends in their own right. And yeah, I guess there's only one thing left to do, and that is to get into this list. So today we have got Skip to the End. I'm only joking. Skip to the End, 199 platinums. I can see that he's currently working on Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm guessing he's going for that 200th platinum on a banger of a game. But yeah, let's get into the stats. So we can see 494 games played, 184 completed, a completion of 57.80%. Got the average ranking of an A rank. No Fs whatsoever, so fair play. But yeah, mainly S's and A's. I'm actually surprised that with so many more S's that it has actually dropped down to an A, but it's there or thereabout. Trophy wise, looks like we've got a good spread, so I don't think I'm going to have to worry too much about constant shovelware or children's games. 126 ultra rares, so there's going to be some bangers to say the least. And PS4 being the main console, PS3 second, and PS5 third. So let's get into these games. It's already platinum only, it's already in alphabetical order. Let's start. So first off, we got 2064 read-only memories. I'm not going to lie to you all, I have absolutely no idea what that is, but it's on PS4 and Vita, 7.33% on that, so fair play. We've then got A Hat in Time, fantastic game. I tried it a long time ago, couldn't get into it. I've since brought it physical, so maybe something I'll go back to, but fantastic game. 3 hours, 3 out of 10 difficulty, one playthrough, 20 hours, so not too difficult, but still a decent game. We move on to A Plague Tale Innocence next. 3 out of 10 difficulty, one playthrough, 15 hours. And then we got A Way Out, one of the greatest co-op games ever made. Very short, very easy, but a worthwhile experience to say the least. We then got Alan Wake 2, which out of the Alan Wake games, obviously the two of them, Alan Wake 2 is slightly easier than Alan Wake 1 or the prequel, but still I think that's a decent one. Done the DLC as well, so perfect. Then we got Alice Madness Returns. That's a 3 out of 10, one playthrough, 20 hours for the PS3. This was a game that I literally brought like a week ago, well, just over a week ago if you're watching this day one. Ape Escape next, so nice, that one's at a flat 30% completion. We then got a few Assassin's Creed, so we got Assassin's Creed Brotherhood for the PS3, 3.43% on that one, so very, very nice. And then Assassin's Creed 2 on the PS3, 22.64. Getting up there in terms of percentage wise, but the game's amazing. No ifs, no buts. We then got Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Assassin's Creed Origins. Both of those are in the 20%. All the DLC's done as well. 8.18 for Odyssey, 6.99 for Origins. Assassin's Creed, what you see is what you get. They're all, to me at least, they do feel very samey. I know that the Ezio collection is based around Ezio, and obviously the later ones are not. We then got Astrobot and Astro's Playroom. Astro's Playroom, I always say, should be everybody's first platinum. Astrobot, I actually thought it was a higher percentage than this, but it still absolutely dumbfounds me. 3 out of 10 difficulty, 15 hours, 69.63% on it for a AAA game. Nowhere near shovelware, but it is what it is. We then got Batman the Telltale series. Yeah, that's fine. They got Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4. Fantastic games. Like, both of these Battlefields are probably in my top 3. 4 out of 10 difficulty, 30 hours. 4 out of 10 difficulty, 40 hours. 6.40% rarity on Battlefield 1 and a 5.91% rarity on Battlefield 4. Fair play on both of those. We then got Bioshock, which is an absolute goated game. 3 out of 10, 15 hours. 11.76% on that one. One that I am absolutely like desperate to go back to at some point, if I can ever fit it in. We then got Blair Witch, 3 out of 10, 2 playthroughs, 10 hours, 14.16%. I did consider this at one point, but I think I watched another YouTuber do a platinum video on it, and it just looked horrendous with the collectibles. I could have just been watching a poorly explained video, but who knows. Then we got a game that I probably will never ever complete. Bloodborne, 8 out of 10, 1 playthrough, 50 hours. Absolutely mind-boggling that this one is now currently just below 22% completion. I mean, fair play regardless. We then got Borderlands 1, 2 and 3. Bangers galore. 29.01% for Borderlands, 6.97% for Borderlands 2, and then 13.73% for Borderlands 3. Games that I would love to go back to, but at this moment in time, I played them that much as a kid. I just can't. Bugsnax, 2 out of 10, 1 playthrough, 15 hours, 35.78%. Then Bully, one of the platinums that I got last year, I believe. Might have been the year before. But 4 out of 10 difficulty, 1 playthrough, 20 hours, 22.64% on that. We've then got Burnout Paradise on the PS3, so fair play. 10.65% on that one. And then Burnout Paradise Remastered on the PS4. That one's sitting at 18.16%. And you've done the DLC of 4.67%. We then got a couple of Call of Duties. So we got Modern Warfare Remastered and Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered. Sitting pretty at 14.50 and 8.830%, sorry. Oh, this is one I don't see very often. Captain Tsubasa. That's a guess. Rise of New Champions. I know it's like based off football, I believe, or soccer if you're from the United States. 8.56% on that one. Doesn't appear to be a guide surrounding it. Castle Crashers next. 5 out of 10. 1 playthrough, 20 hours. 7.70%. Absolutely fantastic game. Short-ish. Well, no, 20 hours is not short. But like, I remember playing it on like Xbox, like when the Xbox Arcade or something like that, Xbox 360. I'm pretty sure I played it way back then. A little bit disappointing to see that it, like, trophy-wise, it's 10 golds, 2 silvers, no bronzes. But I know that that isn't a trash platinum. So fair play. We then got Cat Quest 1 and 2, because why not? Chivalry 2 next. Nice. 5 out of 10. 40 hours. 3.88%. So beautiful stuff. Code Vein. Nice. 5 out of 10. 3 playthroughs. 75 hours. So I'm guessing 25 hours per playthrough. Just a guess. 9.47% on that one. So beautiful stuff. Conan Exiles as well. 7 out of 10. 50 hours. 18.78%. Then got Concrete Genie, a game that I almost brought physically a couple of days ago. Decided against it because I don't think I will ever play it. I obviously do want to still add it to my collection at some point, but I've seen the gameplay. It looks amazing. I just feel like I would get incredibly bored at it. But fair play on the platinum, 35.44%. And then we got Control, absolute banger game. 4 out of 10, 20 hours on the PS4. Flat 24%. Nice. Moving on, we got Dave the Diver. 3 out of 10, 1 playthrough, 40 hours. Sitting at 24.30%. This is a game that I recently started playing just to utilise my PS Portal. because otherwise it would just be gathering dust. I've got like a good 10 hours in, and I'm just kind of like, can't be bothered anymore. Not saying it's a bad game, just I've hit an area where I just don't care about it anymore. We've then got Day of the Tentacle. Obviously, cover art, name of the game. I initially was like, okay, this is trash. But it has a guide, 2 out of 10, one playthrough, 6 hours. It's only at 34.76, so potentially not trash. You'll have to excuse me, I had a curry earlier, which is not agreeing with me. Dead Rising 2 next, banger game, 6 out of 10, free playthrough, 60 hours, sitting at a 2.57%. Woo! Beautiful stuff. And then we got Dead Space, which obviously, and this is Dead Space on the PS3, not the remake. Banger game, 5 out of 10, 2 playthroughs, 25 hours, 15.16% on that one. I mean, like, if we take Bloodborne and Dead Space, games like that, the percentages are getting higher and higher, even though they are actually banger games, and some of them are absolutely solid. Moving on, we got Deadpool, 4 out of 10, 1 playthrough, 30 hours, 9.77% on that. That's the PS3 version, so very nice. Deponia next, 2 out of 10, 1 playthrough, 4 hours, 54.79% on that. I only know that it is part of a quadrilogy because I brought, I think it's number 3 and number 4 recently, so I am keeping my eye open for number 1 and number 2 now. Destroy All Humans, banger game from back in the day, obviously remastered for PS4. Got 3 out of 10, 15 hours, 13.04% on that. Then got Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls, very nice, 6 out of 10, 60 hours, 13.01%. Donut County, I've got this platinum myself. I honestly don't think that this one is trash because of the little story involved in it. But if I didn't know what it was, I would look at this instantly and be like, yeah, because it is quite high with 82.26%. Drive Club, 5 out of 10 difficulty, 40 hours, 4.18%. But look at all that DLC gap. Disgusting. Driver, San Francisco, on the PS3, 5 out of 10, 20 hours, 2.69% on this one. So fair effing play. Tip the hat. And that one actually has 16 unobtainable trophies now, so fair play. We got Duke Nukem, 20th Anniversary World Tour, very short game, 43.04%. Elden Ring, 6 out of 10, 65 hours, 38.32%. Like, the higher that one's getting as well, disgusting. We move on to Erica, 3 out of 10, 6 playthroughs, because of that interactive dribble. 9 hours, 17.60%. Ether 1, I've never played it, but I have heard of it. 3 out of 10 difficulty, 5 hours, 10.34%. We then got Everybody's Golf, includes 3 unobtainable trophies now. It's an 8 out of 10 difficulty, 40 hours, 3.67%. And then we've got Fallout Ultimate Knockout, OR Oceanic, maybe, but on the PS4, 1.98% on that, so fair effing play. We aren't going to count the 42-second auto pop that you got, but 198, 1.98%, legitimately fair play. Fallout 4 next, 3 out of 10, 1 playthrough, 50 hours, banger game, 10.58%, beautiful. Far Cry 4 and 5, put my teeth back in, and yes, I did say the thing again. Far Cry 4 and 5, I believe, are 2 of 3 Far Cry's that I've never played, so I don't know if these are like ultimately difficult based off of the guide alone. They're not. 3 out of 10 for both, 25 hours for both. both sitting just below 15% on platinum rarity. So very nice. Final Fantasy 15 next. Beautiful. 3 out of 10. 80 hours. 24.23%. But once again, look at that gap for all the DLC. Disgusting. Once again. Then we've got... Oh, I'm going to say we've got a bit of trash. Full Throttle. 2 out of 10. 2 hours. 68.40%. We then got Game of Thrones. I believe that's Telltale, so fair play. We move on to Ghost of Tsushima, which I've recently been watching someone platinum, and I'm glad that I decided to not go for the platinum on this, because my initial thoughts were confirmed to me. It just seems like... I'm not saying it's a bad game, by the way. It just looks like a lot of filler just to plump up the game and plump up the platinum. But 3 out of 10 difficulty, 55 hours, 36.2% on that. Goat Simulator, 5 out of 10, 2 hours. Yes, it's a very, very short game, but Flappy Goat is a platinum killer. God of War 3 Remastered next. Very nice, 4 out of 10, 12 hours, 14.80%. Christ. Okay, deep breath. That'll remind me to eat curry before I do a video. Goosebumps the game. I'm not saying it's a trash game because of its platinum requirements. I'm going to say that this is a trash game because it is the worst game I think I've ever played. Like, honestly, I hated this game with a passion. Moving on, Grand Theft Auto 5. Oh, okay. Grand Theft Auto 5, San Andreas and Vice City, all on the PS4. Grand Theft Auto 5, of course, the pick of the bunch, 150 hours, 2.01% on that one. Banger. We then got Gravity Rush 2 and Gravity Rush Remastered. Fantastic games that I can't stand because of all the motion sickness it gives me. But fair play on both of those. Grim Fandango. I don't know what that game is like. I've seen it around for years. 1 out of 10 difficulty suggests that it is very simple, but only 20.44% have got it. Gris next, or Gris, depending on where you come from. Yes, it's 53.23%. Yes, it is a beautifully drawn game. I played it. I never got the platinum. I just got so bored. We then move on to Guns, Gore and Cannoli 2. I have absolutely not a Scooby-Doo what that one is, so apologies, fair play. Haven next, fair play on this one, 3 out of 10 difficulty, 14 hours, 20.55%. Senua's Sacrifice, 2 out of 10 difficulty, 8 hours, 41.16%. I'm almost certain that when I brought this game, I paid £8 from CEX. It is now, I believe, £20 in CEX, and the platinum rarity has gone up by like 20%. I mean, it's a fairly simple one, but it's still a fantastic game that deserves some attention. Hitman Go next. That's like a little puzzle game, I believe. Yeah. Horizon Zero Dawn, 3 out of 10 difficulty, 40 hours, 27.24%. Yep. Hot Wheels Unleashed, 5 out of 10, 1 playthrough, 30 hours, 6.995% on the platinum rarity. The DLC, 2.14%, fair play. We then got Infamous First Light and Second Son, both taking 20 hours each, according to the guide. First Light being considered the harder of the two, and probably the reason why the platinum is slightly lower than Second Son. So we've got 22.72 and 26.03. We've then got Injustice 2, 4 out of 10 difficulty, 40 hours, sitting beautifully at a 1.82% and a 1.06% DLC. So, fair play. Injustice 2, that's the fighting game, I believe. And I'm pretty sure that used to be a lot more hours. So has somebody found like a new way to cut the time in half or something? It Takes Two, another fantastic co-op experience. One that I started and have never touched since. So it's sitting pretty in my account with an F next to it, thanks to my girlfriend and that one trophy we earned. Jak 3, two versions of Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. Jak 2 as well. Nice, and nice. We then got Jumping Flash, which I originally thought was trash, but I have since been corrected. It's an older style game. Doesn't look like something I would want to play, but fair play on getting the platinum. 34.97. LA Noire, 4 out of 10, 35 hours, sitting at 15.49% on that. We got Last Stop, which no idea. Lego Harry Potter Collection, years 1 to 4 and 5 to 7, so a little sprinkle of Harry Potter Lego in there. Years 1 to 4 sitting at 20.84%, 5 to 7 considerably easier with the well, actually no, according to the guide it's harder, but it's a much higher percentage. Figure that one out. Life is Strange, 1 out of 10, one playthrough, 10 hours, only 32.05%. I've actually been looking for this recently. I want a decent copy of it, obviously physical, but I just can't find one anywhere. I found one in CEX a couple of days ago and it was ripped to high hell. Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, very nice. Quite shocked that that is a 3 out of 10, 25 hours, but has a 52.7% completion at rarity. Sorry. Little Nightmares 2, banger. Mad Max with its 2 unobtainable trophies now, 5 out of 10 difficulty, 85 hours, sitting at a 5.84%. Beautiful. Mafia, 6 out of 10, one playthrough, 25 hours, 21.25% platinum rarity. A game that I have got my eye on currently. If you saw, actually I can't remember which video it was I actually said it in. In one of my more recent videos, I did say I've got a little video idea coming up, and that Mafia may tie into it, but we shall see. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy next, beautiful, one of the greatest games I've ever played, and that's not me joshing either. Like I thought it was fantastic. I didn't expect to enjoy it because I thought, like, you know, with how the characters look a little bit off from, you know, the real characters, but no, fantastic game. Marvel Spider-Man and Miles Morales next, both in the 40s, so just getting higher and higher, but fair play on getting both of those. Mass Effect, 6 out of 10, free playthroughs, 60 hours, 6.82% on that, so very, very nice. Mass Effect 2, 6 out of 10, 40 hours, that one's sitting at 9.97%. Brilliant games. We then got Metal Hellsinger, which 3 out of 10, one playthrough, 5 hours. I don't care what anybody says, it is not a 3 out. Don't know what was going on then. It is not a 3 out of 10 unless you put the accessibility on, where you don't miss a beat. Because if you have to do that whole game without missing a beat, nah, that should be like an 8 out of 10. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom next. I've seen it around. I don't think I've ever seen gameplay of it, but fair play, sitting at 20.42%. Murdered Soul Suspect, one of my first ever platinums on PS4. Have no idea why I actually went for that platinum, because I didn't really think much of the game. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad game, it has a good idea, but I just didn't enjoy it. We then got our first little bit of trash, well, definite trash, should we say. My Name is Mayo. 48 minutes, 26 seconds of pressing the effing X button. Disgusting. 94.51%. The other 5.49% of people, hang your heads in shame. I've never played it, so I'm not included in either of those. Need for Speed Heat, 4 out of 10, 50 hours, 10.59% on that one. Then we got Near Automata, 3 out of 10, 60 hours, 28.72%. Absolutely phenomenal game. We then got Old Man's Journey. It's screaming trash, but maybe it's got a brilliant story. Someone will have to let me know. We then got Onrush. 8 unobtainable trophies now. 6 out of 10 difficulty, 25 hours, sitting at 6.52%. Parappa the Rapper. Mate, I did not know that this was on PS4. Kick. No. I was about to actually bust out into that first song. Oh, hold on. If I take myself away from the camera. Kick, punch, it's all in the mind. If you want to test me, I'm sure you find the things I teach you are sure to beat you, but nevertheless, I'll take a lesson from teacher now. Kick. Okay, that wasn't me, that was someone else. Next, we got Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. 2 out of 10. I can't believe I just did that. 2 out of 10 difficulty, 40 hours, 28.82% on that one. Then we got 3 absolute bangers. I'm sorry, I know that they're like kind of children's games. I say kind of. They're actually not, but they're just bangers. Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, Garden Warfare 2, and Battle for Neighborville. Absolute bangers. In order of how I said them. So Garden Warfare 6.82, Garden Warfare 2 7.12, and Battle for Neighborville 4.07%. And it's no surprise, 130 hours on that one. I believe it's because you have to promote every character like 5 times, if I remember correctly. Because I did start playing that. Well, I've played all 3 of them. I'm quite close to the platinum on 2 of them, but Neighborville I'm nowhere near. Pro Evolution Soccer 2014, probably the last decent soccer game that I can think of. Yeah, fair play, 4.70%. We then got Ratchet & Clank PS4, Ratchet & Clank PS3, Ratchet & Clank 2, Ratchet & Clank 3, Cracking Time, Into the Nexus, and Rift Apart. So clearly a Ratchet & Clank fan. None of which are super rare or ultra rare, but still fair play on all of those. I salute you. Rayman Legends next. Ooh, okay. 5 out of 10, 80 hours, 3.87%. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the one where you have to like log in for every day of the month or something like that to do the challenges. It's dedication. We then got Resident Evil 2. Very nice. 5 out of 10, 6 playthroughs, 30 hours, 18.21%. Of course, with most Resident Evils, it's the same principle. Complete the game on a harder difficulty, but getting an S rank. Do it without using the item box, do it without healing. Resident Evil 2, you've got the so many steps trophy, and that's the one that's actually put me off from going back and completing it. Resident Evil 5, not everybody's favourite, but is one of my favourites, because I had such a blast playing through it with MrLeeNingVs, who some of you may know from YouTube. And then we got Resident Evil Resistance, 8 out of 10 difficulty, 40 hours, 4.60%. Nice. Into Return to Monkey Island, no guide. The name rings a bell. I've got a feeling that it's potentially a classic, sitting at 19.25% on that. Riders Republic next. The fuck? Tiny little moth just flew into my face then. We got Riders Republic, 4 out of 10, 55 hours, 3.48%. That was a game that when it was first announced, I was hyped for, and then I played the beta and I was like, what is this? Maybe I missed out on a classic. Then we got Rhyme, nice. Rocket League, 2 out of 10 difficulty, 50 hours. Yeah, everyone knows what Rocket League is. Saints Row 4, re-elected, banger. Saints Row, Gatto to Hell, banger. Saints Row the Third, banger. Fair play on all 3 of those. Shout out to Get Out of Hell, 8.76%. Sea of Solitude next, I have absolutely no idea, so I cannot comment. Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection on PS3. I'm not 100% sure, but isn't the platinum for this like one trophy in each of like 20 games? If it is that one, I wasn't impressed. I put it on the one day, and I think I started with Alex the Kid, and it was like, get to the first person and repeatedly like restart the game, get to the first person, you do the rock paper scissors. I could be completely wrong. The next one, absolute banger, 6 out of 10, 6 playthroughs, 40 hours, Shadow of the Colossus. Beautiful stuff, 7.22% on that. Shadows of the Damned next, on the PS3 as well, so the original. Well, at least I think it's the original, unless that one was a remake. 4 out of 10 difficulty, 3 playthroughs, 20 hours, sitting at 15.99%. Mate, you don't see these every day. Fair play. Skip to the end. Fair play. Shenmue 2, banger games. Not the hardest, not too difficult, but also not walks in the park. Yes, the percentages are quite high. Where is Shenmue 3? Nah, fair play on both of those. We then got Skate 3, 5 out of 10 difficulty, 25 hours, 1.50%, and the DLC, 0.71%. I am not kissing you, by the way. That was like a chef's kiss. Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus and Sly 2, nice and nice. South Park, The Fractured Butthole, banger game. Wished it was a little bit longer in truth myself. 3 out of 10 difficulty, 20 hours, 21.87%. Spirit of the North, I never experienced it myself. It didn't look like my kind of game, but fair play on the platinum. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, very nice. The free Spyros, which I think I'm coming to the conclusion now that everybody has done the free Spyros, so maybe it's about time I finished Spyro 3. Well, started Spyro 3. But nice, and nice. We then got Star Wars Battlefront 2, 5 out of 10, 1 playthrough, 60 hours, 3.89%, and the DLC of 3.57. Fair effing play. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. The collectibles put me off. I'm not a Star Wars fan in truth, but I was willing to give it a go. The collectibles just killed me. Stray, the greatest cat game ever made, so fair play on that one. We then got Tabletop Racing World Tour. I'll take a guess that it's kind of like a Micro Machines clone. 6 out of 10 difficulty, 15 hours, 7.08% on that one, so beautiful stuff. And you finished that one earlier this month, so beautiful stuff. Tales from the Borderlands, the good Telltale Borderlands game. Chia, I have absolutely no idea. That rhymed. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection, fair play. Tekken 7 and Tekken 8, yes, they are relatively short, but I would struggle because I can't do fighting games. Fair play on both of those. Terminator Resistance, fair play. I love the Terminator games. Yes, easy, short, but fantastic experiences. The Artful Escape, I just saw some bangers. The Artful Escape, 2 out of 10, 4 hours. Yeah, very short, very easy, but again, a beautiful experience. The Callisto Protocol, 5 out of 10, 1 playthrough, 10 hours. I wish I knew that when I started playing it, because I now need to do a second playthrough. I haven't played it for a while, but still, 21.80% on that. We've then got The Crew. It has unobtainable trophies now. 8 out of 10 difficulty, 140 hours, 0.94%. My God, beautiful stuff. Actually, is it The Crew or Crew 2, or is it both? They've completely took the servers off, so it's not just the fact that the trophies are unobtainable. The game is just dead. The Dark Pictures Anthology, Man of Medan, 6.02%. The Darkness 2, 3 out of 10 difficulty, 15 hours, 17.77%. The Evil Within 2, banger game, 8 out of 10 difficulty, 3 playthroughs, 45 hours, 11.26%. The Last of Us Part 2, 3 out of 10 difficulty, 2 playthroughs, 35 hours, 25.75% on that one. Not as good as the prequel, still fairly decent. The Messenger, nice, 4 out of 10, 15 hours. Even though it's only 15 hours, you don't see that one too often, so fair play. The Outer Worlds, not Wilds, Worlds, 4 out of 10, 3 playthroughs, 45 hours, 7.59%, and the DLC, 1.77%. We then got the Plucky Squire. Looks like it was around about the time that it was free on PlayStation Plus and everybody got it. Fair play. I've got it installed on my PlayStation for about, I think it's been about a month now since the physical edition came out. Still haven't got around to it. The Sexy Brutal. No idea. Absolutely no idea. Just over 1 in 2 people have that platinum. The Sims 4, 3 out of 10, 4 playthroughs, 30 hours, 5.67%. I mean, I'm not saying that you've done this, but I did see a video a couple of days ago where it was like, there's a way of tricking the game. Or no, not tricking the game. Basically, you can download families from other people, and people have actually saved families onto the Sim Hub or whatever it's called, and like you download them, go to work once, and then suddenly you've got the trophy for mastering all types of work, something like that. The Walking Dead, Telltale, fair play, and The Wolf Among Us, fair play on that one as well. Time Splitters, Future Perfect, very nice. Tinykin as well, nice. Short, easy game, but a fun one to say the least. Reminded me of Pikmin from Nintendo. Titanfall 2, beautiful stuff. 6 out of 10 difficulty, 17 hours, 8.13% on that one. Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear to the rescue, nice. Trover Saves the Universe. I actually thought that this was VR only, but I have been told recently that you can play it on a pad. You don't need VR to play it. If anyone can confirm that, I would be massively grateful. We then got Uncharted 1, 2 and 3. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Uncharted 1 being the one that I've platinumed. Uncharted 2 being installed on my computer because it is coming soon. I don't know how soon, but it will be soon. Unpacking, potentially one of the most boring games I've ever played, but fair play for sticking it out and getting the platinum. Until Dawn, banger game. Not the remake, which apparently is shocking, but 2 out of 10 difficulty, 15 hours, 16.15% on that. Wanted Weapons of Fate, not a clue. My PS3 knowledge isn't the best at the best of times. That one's sitting at 18.13%. We've got Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2, very, very nice. 5 out of 10 difficulty, 60 hours, 12.45%. We then got Watch Dogs 1 and 2. Watch Dogs 1, 8.25, and the DLC 1.75. Watch Dogs 2, 17.07%, and 1.60% on the DLC. Fair play on both of those. 4 out of 10 and 5 out of 10, so they aren't considered easy. Well, to the the elite gamers amongst you, they are easy, but to us normal folk, not the easiest. What Remains of Edith Finch, fair play, it's an experience. Wolfenstein The New Order, 6 out of 10 difficulty, 1 playthrough, 20 hours, beautiful, 17.21%. We got Wreckfest, 10.06% on that. WWE 2K24, 3 out of 10 difficulty, 50 hours, 5.68%. And considering that that's only last year's edition, does that have 2 unobtainable trophies because every time the new one comes out they stop the old one? I'm gonna open it and look at that in a bit, because if that's the case, that's horrendous. WWE Legends of WrestleMania on the PS3, nice, 28.86%. Then we got Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, and Yakuza Kiwami 2. 3 out of 10, 40 hours, 6 out of 10, 80 hours. 17.29% platinum rarity on Song of Life, 12.24% on Kiwami 2. Ukulele, nice. Some banger games that I don't think I've ever seen anyone else with these on their list, so straight off the bat, fair play. Zero Escape, the Nonary games, Zero Time Dilemma, fantastic experiences. Kind of like, how would you explain Zero Escape? Like puzzle rooms or escape rooms. They're fantastic games regardless. And then last one for the platinums, Zombie Army 4 Dead War, 6.40%, 0.99% on the DLC. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. So I'm gonna scroll back up, get us ready for the milestones. But before we do the milestones, we got the 100%. Firewatch, beautiful experience. Gone Home, no idea. Valiant Hearts: The Great War, yes, this is 100%. If you saw my 10 games to platinum video, I did make a mistake on it. I called myself out on it. I will do better. Randall's Monday, no idea. Thomas was alone. I've seen it loads, but no idea. Daytona USA Racing. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, fair play on that one. Journey, I remember, I didn't realise that came on PS4. I thought that was a PS3 game myself, but fair play, 6.23% on that one. Ape Escape 2, 5.27% on that. What Remains of Edith Finch, the PS4 version. Abzu, Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon, Soma, and Super Bomberman are online, which has unobtainable trophies. That's a shame. Right. Onto the milestones. So, first platinum was Murdered Soul Suspect. Are you me? 10th platinum was God of War Remastered. And, I mean, fair play. Like, there was a couple of years between these. Like, first platinum 11 years ago. 10th platinum 9 years ago. So, yeah, in my first 2 years, I think I got like 2 platinums. 20th platinum, Jak and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy. 30th platinum was Horizon Zero Dawn. 40th platinum, Infamous Second Son. 50th platinum, Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. 75th platinum, Resident Evil 5. 100th platinum, Bloodborne. Yeah, I don't blame you for that one. If I could do Bloodborne, it would have been my 100th, but I had to settle for Resident Evil 3. 125th was The Outer Worlds. 150th was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. 175th, Grand Theft Auto 5. Latest platinum was Like a Dragon, Gaiden, The Man Who Erased Time. And, you know, I'm sure we'll see soon. The Monster Hunter Wilds will be number 200. So, thank you so much to Skip to the End for submitting his account. It's still the case, as has been for the last 5 to 6. As things stand, the list is stopped. Like, I'm still going down the list, but I'm not submitting, taking any more submissions. Like, I'm not adding to the list. When I get nearer to the bottom, we shall see. I'm still enjoying doing these lists. I'm still enjoying interacting with people in the comments about the lists. But I know what I'm like. Doing something over and over and over again, eventually I will get bored. I'm hoping it won't be the case. But as I've said, I am 100% going to do all of that list, one way or another. Whether I continue afterwards, we shall see. I'm not saying I won't, but at the moment, definitely not. But yeah, thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. And yeah, see you on the next one.